Hey Afro fam, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today, family. And I have an amazing video for you guys. This may come as a surprise to some, maybe not to those that I know in RL, but I wanted to discuss today how come I'm no longer a vegan. And I know it may be a little surprising because I have been a vegan for most of my adult life, most of my 20s, and I'm actually ready to tell my story now and share my experience. For starters, I am not here to knock anyone's dietary choices, okay? We all have to work with what works with us and our bodies. And optimal health is what's priority. I chose to be a vegan for ethical reasons and because I believe in a whole food, plant-based diet, and I wanted to feed my body things that came from the earth and things that will increase my vitality. So I would say about a year and a half ago, I had to come to the realization, no matter how hard I fought to stay within the vegan lifestyle, I had to come to a realization that this is no longer satiating for my body. And don't get me wrong, I still consume majority of plant-based foods. This is a conscious and high vibrational channel where we discuss high vibrational topics, foods, and conscious living. So of course, but I had to transition into eating meat again. Now, I know that's like, I'm not like scarfing down every meat on like known to man, right? Of course not. I consume mainly fish. I do consume eggs, and I also consume turkey bacon every now and then. And also I will indulge in some beef. Rarely though, not often. So primarily when I have my meals, I'll have high packed, like lots of greens on my plate. So I cut out rice. I don't consume rice anymore because my gut was not agreeing with rice. So for my meals, I'll have fish, clean fish, white fish, mainly maybe like haddock or snapper or marlin, just depends. So where I'm at the time, like if I'm traveling, I'll just stick to like really good fish that's really good for your body. Salmon, of course. And then I'll have lots of veggies on my plate, an assortment of veggies. And I try my very best. I have slipped, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I try my very best not to consume any dairy. Dairy and my stomach does not agree. Anytime I eat dairy, I just feel super bloated. I could tell my stomach is not absorbing it and it's not working well in my system. And then my skin suffers terribly. I break out bad from dairy. So I try not to consume dairy. Every now and then I do slip up and have a slice of pizza. Sue me. But I try my hardest because I pay for it the next day. Or once in a blue, I may have like ice cream. I pay for it the next day. So you would think by now I learned my lesson. That's why, like I said, I try my hardest. And yeah, so dairy is a no-go for me. And it's highly inflammatory. And this year, I want to try to do the Eat for My Blood Type diet. If you haven't heard of that diet, you can check it out. It's pretty much a diet that is based on the blood type. So find out your blood type, then you can check like on Google like what foods are compatible with your blood type. So with my blood type, heavy meats are compatible for me, but I'm not a heavy meat eater. I just listed like the 3 meats that I eat majority. But I would say I'm more of like a flexitarian, like, you know, vegetarian, and I'll have like vegan options, and then I'll have like my fish and my beef every now and then my turkey bacon every now and then. Just very light. I know beef is not light. That's why I rarely have it. I have beef every couple of months. But yeah, so the eat for your blood type diet, I have not gone full force into it yet. I am transitioning into it. I'm not going to literally like follow it to the T, because there are some foods on there that they say it's not good for my blood type that I can't live without, like mangoes. Hello. Are you like, what world are we in? I don't see myself ever going without having mangoes in life. Okay, so I'm just being 100 with you. And there's some other fruits and vegetables and things that they say that are not good because they're highly inflammatory. The main part of this is to avoid inflammatory meals, because inflammatory foods are not digesting in your body. Your body's not absorbing the minerals, the vitamins. It's only causing havoc on your body. So I want to tell you, if you are transitioning into a new diet, don't beat yourself up about it. We've been eating a certain way for so long, and the easiest way to transition is little by little. Like when I was a meat eater, and I like years ago, like when I was a kid coming up and teenager, late teens is like when I was becoming vegan. So I became a vegan like 20 years old. But I had to practice cutting back foods little by little. So now with this new diet, I'm already used to the vegetables, I'm already used to the fruits. So I now need to cut out things little by little that's on the list. So I'm doing what I can with the list. So a lot of other things that are on that list are realistic, and then some of them are not for me. Like coffee, I am trying to cut back on coffee, but right now I don't see that happening. I'm no longer vegan. I don't know if I could see myself being a full-on vegan again in the near future. I can never say never, but what I do know is as of right now, it is not something that I'm going to stress about, because I have to do what's best for me. For example, when I was vegan, I was eating a lot of carbs. Even if I was eating like plant-based foods that were low in carbs, I would eat meals like more periodically, and I feel like a lot of that was breaking down into sugar. And I'm not saying that there aren't like high protein foods out there, like plant-based foods, of course there are, but for me, like a lot of beans, quinoa, a lot of that stuff was giving me gas. It was, my stomach will be puffy, and anytime like my stomach is puffy, this is how I know my body. I know that my body is not breaking down the food, or the food is not compatible with my body. So it's best to learn your body and know what's good for your body. When I transitioned into my 30s, that's when I realized, like, yeah, you're getting older. I'm not that old, I know, but vegan life never hit the same for me once I got a little older. And I remember a doctor telling me in my 20s, like a naturopath, he was telling me, he was like, yeah, veganism isn't good for the long term, yada yada yada. And I didn't believe him, because I was like in my head like, oh, he's anti-vegan and he just wants to sway me to eat meat and he's so evil, right? And right now in this phase, I'm seeing like, okay, maybe he had a point, but I also think that people have to do what works for them and their body. So yeah, I was struggling to stay satisfied from my food. And it's not more of like a, oh, I need all this protein, because there are vegetables that you can get protein, like leafy greens have protein, but it's just like, maybe it's the food combinations, whatever what was happening, it was not sustaining me. And I just chopped it up to the fact that I was getting older and my body just needed more like solids, like food that was going to stay in my stomach. And I noticed when like I incorporate like my proteins and I pair them well, I'll be full for a couple hours and not even snack throughout the day. So that's what works for me. And you guys, I know it's hard out here getting like organic food, getting grass-fed food, like getting pasteurized, farm raised, like all the labels, free range and all of that. Do what you can do and don't beat yourself up about it. Because for me, when I was initially transitioning, I was like, oh my God, I gotta get this, I gotta get that. And it was just like overload. And when you're I don't know if you're this way, but for me, when I was overloaded and I just felt like overwhelmed, I take a step back and I'm just like, you know what, forget it, I want to give up. So it's best to just do baby steps. Take those baby steps and then keep pushing forward. Like, say you'll take this away or you'll add this to your diet. If you want to just make those changes, do it little by little. Or like, say you're trying to do sugar free. And I know that's really hard because we all love sugar, and I commend those who consume absolutely no sugar. I try to consume low sugar, but like little by little, do what you can do, because if you do too much at once, you're gonna feel overwhelmed and you're gonna give up and you're not gonna keep pushing forward. This is pretty much my story, my take on it, and how I feel now. I'm still healthy. I'm still a healthy person. It's just I consume things in moderation. I definitely want to get more fit. I have goals that I want to reach, and I definitely want to cut out like a lot of the sweets, cut out those things that I literally start craving. And when your body is craving these unhealthy things, that should be like a sign that you need to cut that out. Like whatever your body is craving, cut it out. And what also helps me to like curb the desire for sweets are teas, like bitter teas. Like I love sarsaparilla tea. I love neem. Oh my gosh, neem. I don't have my packages with me right now, but I will definitely link the teas that I use below. And I love those teas. When they're bitter, the bitter the better. In this case, not in life as far as being bitter, but bitter teas the better, okay? So that bitterness curbs that desire for like wanting unhealthy foods, because then it does something to like the palate of your tongue. And the more you consume it, at first it is hard to, if you're not used to bitter herbs and drinking bitter herbs. And always consult with your doctor. Disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just sharing my experience. But yes, in the beginning, bitter is really hard to like tolerate. But the more you do it, just like anything, consistency is key. Your body will thank you for it. And that the bitter herbs also help with reducing inflammation. So I know that meats can be inflammatory. I'm not going to deny that. But for me, I have to do what works for my body. And the way I can combat inflammatory foods is by trying to consume more greens, more plant-based, and then like combining it with the meats. So like the meats maybe, because you're not going to avoid inflammation in its totality, but you can kind of moderate it a little bit, right? So I'll just combine the meats with the vegetables. Saw something. I'll combine the meats with the vegetables, and I love leafy greens. I love mustard greens. I love kale. I love spinach. I love all those like dark greens. It's so good for your body. And then I'll combine those together, and that's my dinner. Or sometimes I'll have like maybe a sweet potato, just light things, but things that come from the earth, and then combine it with the meat, and I'm good. That'll be my dinner. So you got to do what you can afford to do. First of all, don't go out here trying to do too much and it's breaking your wallet. Just do what is economically right for you and make those changes little by little, you guys. I would love to share with you like my meals. Like I would love to bring you guys in the kitchen with me, and I think I'll do that. I'll make some videos of like my little healthy teas and my little healthy meals and my little like hacks of things that I do to help me feel full and to still like get the nutrients from the foods, vegetables, the fruits, all of that. So yes, this year we are focusing on wellness. I mean, of course, always focus on wellness. But this year, like, we're really going full force with wellness and meeting those goals. Whatever goals it is that we've set for ourselves, we have to be intentional about it, of course. and go forward with achieving those goals. The only way you will get to the finish line is by participating. I love you guys so much. This wraps up my quick little long-winded kind of rants of why I'm no longer vegan, and I hope you found this video insightful. Please share with me below. Are you guys vegan? Have you tried being vegan? Are you a meat eater? What's your preference? What works for you? And tell me if you're feeling the video, and share a little bit of tidbits with me. I just would love to hear from you below in the comment section. I always enjoy kicking it with you guys and having these one-on-one personal conversations and being very transparent. Health is wealth, and we are wealthy, okay? Love you all so much. Take care, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.